I'm starting to think that women might not actually be backwards. I think that what we have been taught and what we believe about women is backwards, and that their behavior, the patterns that emerge if you look at their behavior, it's been telling the story frontwards the whole time. It's just that we want to believe something about them. It's only backwards if you have an expectation of them to be a certain way. And also, I think that the way that we believe that they should be this way is the same feeling that inspires them to act like they are that way, or to put up this front that they are this way. And that just basically adds fuel to the fire that we believe that they are this way, because that's the picture that they paint about who they are and how they are. But really, if you just observe the patterns that emerge from their behavior, you'll see that the story that's being told is frontwards and it's not backwards. So we are looking at it backwards.
Jacob, what's your view on male competition?
Male competition, I think it's super healthy. I think it's also like suppressed by like schools, like public school.
Do you mind if I take a photo of you right now?
No, it's fine. I think that it's like I think that it's unhealthy to basically discourage a male competition in, for example, public schools. Yeah, I think that they're like psychologically castrating boys in public schools. I think that so like boys being disruptive, boys roughhousing, this is all discouraged, and it's all like, it's psychologically castrating these boys from a young age. They need to get it out of their systems. They need to do this. It's very natural.
Talking about competition.
Yeah, I'm talking about being disruptive. I'm talking about, being a troublemaker. I'm talking about all that shit.
What about competition to the point where you're in corporate world and you're literally stepping on people's necks to get ahead?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Did you know what you were signing up for? I mean, were you naive going into this job thinking that it wasn't going to be like that?
No, you weren't naive,
But so we know it's like that. Anybody with half a brain knows that that's the corporate ladder, and that's the fucking nature of it. So if you're going into it naive, how can you bitch about it? I mean,
competition with your friends as opposed to being
I think it's healthy.
let me talk personal, me and you.
What about it?
Competition in regards to, you remember when we were kids, we used to show off the girls we hooked up with on our phone, like, oh, that's
Sure.
a girl. Competition in regards to who makes more money, maybe not even stuff that's communicated between us, but I'm talking about real natural selection competition. I'm talking about real to the raw nitty gritty of the things.
So look, I think anytime two men speak, there's the threat of violence that underpins the whole conversation and that regulates the men's behavior. The problem is that when a man and a woman speaks, there's no threat of violence, and this is the result is nightmare women. Yeah. Because the implication of the threat of violence between two men is what regulates the fucking
These women out here,
yeah. Bro, I just think that we're looking at them backwards, and they're not actually backwards.
they are weeding out the weak men.
Yeah, they are.
They are weeding out the weak men.
Way faster nowadays.
Then if they,
But I also think weak men are waking up. I think weak men are waking up
of course,
in droves.
let me hear you speak in regards to the independent it girl.
Uh-huh.
New York.
Uh-huh.
She's a lawyer
Yeah.
and she's bad.
Yeah.
She goes in the courtroom.
She's miserable. She's miserable. She doesn't want that world. She doesn't want that world. She's
conscious though. She's woke. She knows that she's grateful because she has a good life. Because she looks at the bums every day at the street in New York, and she's like, "Damn, I really have it so good." You know?
Yeah, she has it so good, but it's not the flavor that she wants. It's not the flavor of good that she truly deep down wants. She wants something simpler. She wants less responsibility. End of the day, she wants less responsibility. She wants to be freed from all of this responsibility. End of the day. Really, yeah. Women don't wield power in the same way that men do. So wielding power responsibly requires emotional regulation. Now look, a high up executive woman, she has a lot of emotional regulation. She can be very stoic. She has to be in her position, but she can't be stoic in a way that a man can, because she can get pushed over the edge easier. Her threshold is lower.
CEOs and stoic and are very
They just want to dominate men.
Yeah, right.
No, I take that back because like here's the thing. I think all women want to dominate men. All women have kind of like covert penis envy. But if you look at men that are high up, usually they want to live out fantasies of the opposite. So usually men in power will want to live out fantasies that they're being dominated. Usually. And so that makes me think that maybe a woman in power would want to be dominated just on a human condition level. But I think that even no matter how much power she has over men, I still feel like she kind of subscribes to the narrative that the patriarchy kind of exists, and she will never be satiated by power over men. She can never have enough power over men. So I think that she would, maybe it's a coin flip whether or not she would want to be sub or dom. What do you mean mutual?
Interactive sexual experience where you both are.
Oh, coitus?
Where you both are fighting over dominant, and you both are letting go of power for a second, and you're going back and forth. A mutual.
I don't think that exists in real time. I think that would have to be choreographed. I don't think that can exist in real time. The coordination sounds otherworldly.
Would you tell a man who's crazy in love with his woman, and they've been married 20 years, and they have 3 kids, and a boat, and a house, and a retirement fund, and he walks home one day, and she's fucking another guy, or she's cheating on her, he catches her cheating on him, and he just can't leave her. He can't find it in him to divorce her. Where do you tell a man to find his strength to do the right thing and leave her? And he's like bent out of shape about it. Oh, my kid.
I would have to try.
Comes up with every excuse in the world.
Right, I would have to try a couple different methods. I think my first method would be I would try to appeal to his logical brain, and I would try to logically explain why it is a very bad idea for him to stick in this marriage. If that doesn't work, I would try to use sympathy, or I would try to appeal to his. No, I would try to appeal to his love for his kids. I would basically be like, this is terrible for the kids. I would try to appeal to his love for his kids. Right, like you sticking in this marriage is setting a very bad example for your children. So I would try to appeal to that. If that didn't work, I would try to bully him into it. I would try to shame him into it as a last resort. Oh yeah, and I would exploit that. I would press the pain points. Yeah. I would try to piss him off about it. I would basically, all I would be really doing is telling the truth in a very harsh way.
What kind of advice would you give a man if the woman wanted to make it work after this transpired?
That he would be sacrificing all self-respect, and that he would basically be signing the fucking contract for her to do it again. Yeah. And he has to understand that.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but what about
You can't forgive a woman. Never. You cannot forgive a woman. Ever. For anything. You cannot forgive a woman. All forgiving a woman does is tells her that she can get away with it again.
So we have to keep score always. At least that.
No, you just can't. You can't forgive a woman ever.
You can't forgive, and you keep kind of like.
No, you don't forgive, but you do forget. But you don't forgive. You have to forget, but you have to let it go. You just can't forgive her. You can internally forgive her without communicating it, but you cannot forgive her expressly.
It'll never be the same.
Yeah. You can't forgive a woman because, look, women have been, for hundreds of thousands of years, women have been manipulating men because they have been under the thumb of men for hundreds of thousands of years. They had to develop a way. Look, any empowerment. Look, any empowerment that a woman has had for 99.9% of human history, Homo sapien history, has been through the permission of a man. They'd had to get permission from a man because women have had no agency throughout human history, right? So they had to develop and adapt these behaviors to get permission, aka manipulating men. That's why they're good at it, right? It's like they had to. It's an adapted behavior for their own survival. They had no power. Manipulating men. Look, we all manipulate. Like manipulation is any conversation. Anytime two humans have a conversation, there is manipulation going on. People need to understand that. Manipulation is more innocuous than people think. And ubiquitous as fuck. Ubiquitous, it means it's everywhere.
Do you look at your future with having a kid to be the traditional way?
No, no. I would like to have a child out of a relationship as a as a transaction with a woman who's like-minded. We're not in a relationship, but we rear the child together in some arranged way. That makes sense. And I financially provide. I just don't think that long-term monogamy is. I don't know. I don't think it works as well as people think it does. I mean, it can work, and it does work. It's a lot of work, but and especially like if I get into a relationship with a woman, she's like properly vetted, and I never let her disrespect me, and I walk away from anything that I don't like. So in that way, if that long-term relationship does exist, it is on my terms, and theoretically it would be good. But honestly, I don't know. I would want to be polygamous. I want multiple women. So if she's down with that, it could happen. It could totally happen. All men want polygamy, deep down in their testosterone roots.
What do you say to a guy like me who doesn't have social media, no dating apps, and who I really get women through my place of employment? And I don't have a job right now, so like if that's my dating pool, my place of employment.
Terrible.
It's terrible, right? So
You're shitting where you eat every time you go to eat.
and I'm getting fired every time.
Yeah, you're cooked.
So where do you
New strategy.
that I start at? Do I try to start at dating?
No, you start by humbling yourself and accepting coaching. You have to become coachable in some way.
Okay. I humble myself. I accept coaching.
You surrender. You have to surrender.
I surrender, and then do I surrender to it? Do I go to dating apps, make social media right away?
Yeah, dating apps are great. You just have to optimize your profile and take really good pictures, or use AI to get really good pictures. It's really just about the pictures on dating apps. It's about the pictures and the fucking energy that you're giving in the first few texts.
These girls in dating apps with their photos, man, their photos are phenomenal.
Whatever. Who cares? Who cares? I don't care about them.
Shit, all over the world, all sorts of shit.
If they're all over the world, they're fucking escorts. I feel like half of these bitches that are 8 or over are escorts. To be real with you. I don't need an escort, bro. I can get from A to B all by myself. I want to niche down into like evolutionary psychology and like deep dive female nature from like a perspective of the fucking tribal Homo sapien, and like, because really all sexual mating behaviors are derived from the tribal Homo sapien hundreds of thousands of years ago.
Where did it change at?
It hasn't changed. The globalization of information, the speed of information, the internet, the speed of information all started with the telephone line and radio. Like 70 years ago, like the 40s.
You were allowed to be your wife until like 18, 17.
Okay, you were allowed to own a person back then too, and it was moral too. That's why morality is fucking relative. And morality is the biggest fucking psyop in human history. Basically, it just comes from Hebrew mythology. It comes from the Old Testament. And it goes like this. If we can convince these people to be kind is to be righteous, then we don't have to compete with those fucking people. You don't have to compete with kind people if you're fucking cutthroat. You don't have to compete with them.
Jesus said the meek shall inherit the earth.
No. They shall. No. That's propaganda. That encourages people to be meek.
Jesus is not himself.
But Jesus was a fucking communist. He was. And all communism is propaganda and control.
The culture between Middle Eastern women, how they cover everything up with their eyes. What's your view on that? With
I think-
regards to women's freedom?
Well, I think that,
Because I honestly see both perspectives there.
look, I think that a lot of that has to do with male insecurity. They're afraid. They just don't want their bitches took. They want to minimize the possibility of motherfuckers lusting for their women. It has to do with male insecurity.
I've met Muslims where they like when a guy lusts over the woman. They want to see what the woman does.
Right.
And it's sort of...
Right.
It's
like a test. It's like a test.
It's on a level of thinking that you've been building this pattern in your mind.
When a psychologically weak man has that kind of control over a woman, it doesn't end well. It's not good. Because he power trips because he can, and in any other circumstances he couldn't. You get what I mean? Like if the rules were changed, he'd be cooked. So that's weaselly to me. It's just weaselly. It lets very weak men have power, and without the responsibility. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it, really. It's worked for them for a very long time, and it's working to this day. Yeah, but I think non-Western women, female nature applies to all of them, but their nurture is much different. Their nature is the same, but their nurture is much different. They can regulate their female nature much better than the Western woman, that's for sure. They're better women. They are better bitches. They are better bitches. Yeah. It's feminized culture, feminized institutions, completely feminized institutions. Yeah. It has its hand in every part of culture. So yeah, of course the men are going to end up like this, weak and feminized. Of course they are. I'm not surprised. It's not a shocker. How do we get to the source of a problem? Homeschooling and limiting screens. Limiting connectivity, and also the reintroduction of community. Yeah, the reintroduction of community. Honestly, the Amish are better off than we are. Really, the Amish are better off than we are. They don't have screens and they have community. They don't have these problems. And you know what? They respect their women safely. They can respect their women with very little risk. We can't respect women without a huge amount of risk. Respecting a woman in the West is risky. The Amish, I don't think, take on that much risk by respecting their women. They accept it in the way that a woman should, and they reciprocate it. Yeah, dude, a lot of them are... Look, they are corrupted by the modern era. If they have a real masculine father, they're fine. If they have a man that is in control of his household and his home, and he's not castrated by his wife, the girls are going to do fine. No, it's just a masculine... It's a masculine father. Yeah, because well, no, they step out of their... No, look, the good father is the fucking villain in the home. He is the villain, he is the bad guy, always, and he accepts that. He has to be. Because he has to keep order, because if he wasn't the bad guy, there would be chaos, and it would be ran by women. He has to be the bad guy, but that's fine, he's keeping order. Just like the fucking... Look, I hate the police, but... They have to be the bad guy to keep order. There has to be a villain to keep order. The unruly look at him as a bad guy. But listen, once they are out of the home and they grow up and they mature, they'll realize that he was right. They all realize that he was right. Always. Always. As long as he was not abusive. They will realize that he was right. Like, I realized my dad was right. I had a good masculine father that didn't put up with shit, okay? So I was raised right, and he was the bad guy forever. And he was like, I know I'm the bad guy. I don't give a fuck. It's my fucking house. And it was his house. And we got our fucking asses whooped. And I know now that he was right. The villain is oftentimes right in the West. Because everything that is reasonable and real has been vilified and demonized. Like, masculinity has been vilified and demonized. So... masculinity is what built civilization and kept order.